Okay, we have our plates with our lovely backgrounds on them. And we're going to have to cut our plates so that we have 2 cuts on the bottom, which will be our trunk of our tree, and then 8 cuts along the top, which will be the branches of our tree. And when we start weaving, we're going to weave with our warp threads. It's W-A-R-P, warp. And those are the very first threads we put on our weaving. And when we start, we're going to start with a pattern that goes left side of the trunk to the left branch, and then move over to the right branch and the right side of the trunk. So it goes left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left, right, right. So if that helps you with your weaving to remember that pattern, that's great. If not, then you can maybe figure out your own way that will help you remember. So we're going to start, like I said, on the left side of our trunk. And I'm going to just take my string and I'm going to take a little piece and kind of floss it in there and have a little tail on the back. And I'll go ahead and tape that tail down so that it doesn't come undone. So here's my pattern. I go left, left, all the way to the leftmost branch. But then I'm going to go to the right one and to the right side of the trunk. So if I want to go to the right one, I'm going to go right over like that. So now I'm coming out of the right side, and I'm going to pull it down to the right side of the trunk. So here I went from left to the left side, hopped over to my right branch, and then back to the right side of the trunk. Now I'm going to start that pattern over again, and I'm going to go back to the left side. If I go up and around, it's going to undo everything, so I need to go back behind it. Go behind and around my trunk. So now here, I'm on the left again. Instead of going to the same 2 branches though, I'm going to go to the next left branch. There we go. So left, left, right, right. So go around the back side and then to the right side of the trunk. So here we go. I go around my trunk. I'm back on the left. Go to the next available branch, left, over to the right one, back to the right side. Now I've done that 3 times, and can you notice I have 3 strings coming from this side and 3 strings coming from this side. So I'll go around my trunk. So I start on the left again, go left, left, around the back, and right to right. When I'm all done with this part, you'll see I have a lot of string left over, which is good because we're going to need that. And I have 4 warp threads coming from this side and 4 warp threads coming from this side. So I have my 8 branches. But what I don't have is my trunk. I need to add my trunk. So what I'll do is go around my trunk for the last time on the back. And I have to go around and wrap these branches up so that I end up having a trunk. So what I'll do is take my string and I'm going to go under all of my branches. So if I want to, I can even take all my branches and kind of pinch them with one hand and take my string through and around and start to wrap them up. So I'm going around and around, like I'm wrapping, almost like a hair wrap, if any of you have ever had a hair wrap done. Just kind of wrapping all of these branches up. Wrapping it around and around. And then you can decide how high you want it to go. If you want your branch or your trunk to come up higher, you can bring it up higher, or you can leave it nice and low. I'm going to go around a few more times. Okay, so here I have my branch, or sorry, my trunk. And then I have my 8 branches coming off. So it's starting to look a little bit more like a tree. Next time we're going to add the colors on, which are called the weft threads, W-E-F-T. But today these are the warp threads that we put on. But now you're going to probably be wondering, how do I finish this thing? I have all this leftover string. If I just cut it, it might start to unravel itself. So what I'll do is I'll take any extra that I have and kind of pull it down to the back again. I can cut off any extra I have. And then just tape it on the back so it doesn't come undone. So there I have my trunk. I have my 8 branches. On the back, this is what it should look like. You should have these little tails taped up. Your trunk will be wrapped a few different times. And you'll have 4 dashed lines along the top to be your branches. If you accidentally mess up, and let's say you get to the very end and you flip it over and you have strings kind of crisscrossing on the back, it's really not a big deal as long as your front looks like this. As long as you have 8 branches on the front and you have your trunk. If you accidentally make a mistake on the back, it's not as big of a deal, okay? So don't stress out if it doesn't look exactly like this as the end, as long as your front ends up looking like this. All right, thank you for listening and good luck.